Hello, everyone. I hope you are enjoying JiraCon. And today we are going to talk about um, inside asset management. The session is called Explore Asset Management with Jira Service Management Inside. Um, Myself, Nitish Kamal. I'm one of the co-founders at Trundl, and I am also a director here who manages the Managed Services Division. Over to you, Darshani.
Thank you, Nitish. Hello, everybody. My name is Darshani Paralikar, and I work as an Atlassian Tools engineer here at Trundle. And I will be speaking along with Nitish on the asset management for Jira tools today.
Awesome.
Good.
So guys, today we are going to do a live demo. So you won't have to kind of go through a lot of slides. The intention here is to show you what you can do with inside asset management. Before I begin, I can kind of give you a brief background about where you can get the tool. If you are a cloud customer, you need to basically go with Jira Service Management Premium to get inside asset management functionalities. If you're a data center customer, there is an add-on which is available for inside asset management. Let's kind of talk about today's agenda and what we're going to discuss. So let's give a brief background about what is Insight in Jira Service Management Cloud. So Insight is an add-on that was procured by Atlassian in 2020 from a company called Mindwell. So Mindwell itself was a different company. Earlier it was called Riada. In fact, we were good friends with the founders of Riada and the application inside asset management. It was one of the most popular add-ons for asset management and tracking because Jira Service Management, or it was known as Jira Service Desk during that time, can have that functionality, and the product became very popular, and Atlassian ended up acquiring the add-on and added the functionalities of Insight as part of the Jira Service Management package. It's a very powerful tool. You can kind of do a high-level asset management, tracking, and other aspects within Jira Service Management itself. You can also use it for Jira software, so there is no restriction for that. Teams can use this application to track their assets, configure items and resources. It is really useful if you are an IT shop, even customers who are non-IT customers use it on a regular basis. In fact, Atlassian used to use Insight earlier to manage their people. Their HR team used to kind of create every employee as an asset and use it. Right now, it is much more popular than how it was earlier. You have a lot of functionalities that you can use. Along with that, the look and feel has changed drastically. You can also integrate inside asset management with other tools. So there is another product called Insight Discovery, which is really useful if you're planning to kind of search for your assets in an IT environment. We won't be talking about Insight Discovery today because our sole focus is on the asset management part. However, we'll show you how discovery functionality can be explored from the tool while discussing about the import functionality. If you have any additional questions about discovery, feel free to reach out to us after the session, and we can spend some time with you. So let's kind of move on and discuss about what are the things that you can do with inside asset management. IT teams can basically use inside asset management to close their service request in a much faster manner because your customer assets are linked with tickets. So integration with Jira Service Management is seamless. when you use Insight. And you can also minimize any risk associated with tracking your assets, because it is well connected to your hierarchy. You can kind of design the platform. Just like Jira, Insight is a platform which you can kind of modify according to your needs. It doesn't give you built-in functionalities or templates. You need to define and design your template and ensure that content is added according to your required hierarchy. There are proper links between multiple assets that can be utilized, and you can also add context to issues so that any kind of troubleshooting can be performed without spending a lot of time. It's an easy method once you have everything set up on Insight. Um, then we have this option where you have high visibility auditing and other things can be done in a much easier manner. And most important thing, you can track assets seamlessly. So these are the high level things that you can do with Insight Asset Management. Let me start with the demo. um, So right now, I'm showing a JSM platform or a JSM portal on which we have added some insight features. So this is a home page for a portal, and I will go ahead and select a group inside this portal. And inside the group, I have a lot of request types. I will go ahead and select the first request type, which is request new hardware. So when you select new hardware, you are familiar with if you are familiar with JSM, then you see a lot of Jira custom fields like summary. But if you scroll down, this is slightly different than what you have on Insight, sorry, JSM. I also have another Insight custom field here. It's about my hardware asset where I selected a laptop. And this is a traditional Jira custom field or the text field. I'll go ahead and select send and create the ticket. So as soon as I select the ticket, I can go ahead and see the ticket view as an agent, because mostly agents work on tickets. So if you're looking at my screen, unlike the traditional custom fields, Insight has this Insight icon, and when I click on that, it opens a detailed view of my object. You can see that under human resources, this employee Divya is linked, and then if you click on the right hand side, you see an employee key, you see the employee name, know when the person was, the asset was created here. The employee is the asset. So that is where how you can kind of utilize Insight. Now, if you click on this option, it redirects you to the Insight asset management object schema. So just like Jira Service Management or any Jira ticket, the structure for an asset is very similar to an issue. So I will go ahead and explain the hierarchy in terms of insight nomenclature, so that you can connect with the Jira, Jira functionalities. So on inside, you have a functionality called object type schema, which is very similar to your projects on Jira Service Management or Jira software. This is the dashboard. You can kind of click on more if you don't see the inside option on the top navigation bar. And if you click on inside, this page pops up. And there are multiple options here. You have a configuration option here. If you click on configuration, this will basically redirect you to a page where some global settings are added, like global statuses in inside, global icons, and global reference types. I'll just go ahead and click on inside home once again. Now I'm going to select the inventory employees in inventory object type schema, which was created to show you the content that was added on the Jira ticket. So the asset that I am going to search for is Divya. So just like Jira, you have an option to kind of search with so just like Jira or JQuery, you have something called inside query language, using which you can kind of have complex inside queries that will kind of show you the objects based on the results. Right now, when I open Divya's object, I can see that there are a couple of issues that are linked with Divya's asset, and these are basically Jira tickets. So this is seamless integration. You can see the integration from both JSM and inside, and the link is proper. Now what I will do is I'll go ahead and show you another object type schema called inventory. So this is in object type schema with multiple hierarchies. It starts with repositories, and we have hardware repo like laptops, desktops, database server, and then the software repo, which is basically about licenses. And when I click on the options, I see that there are laptops that are assigned with the laptop ID, and you also have the laptop keys. The licenses in terms of software that is being used on these laptops are also added here, along with the person who is assigned or who is using this laptop. So this is the level in which you can kind of connect your IT assets on inside asset management. Right now, what I will show is I'm going to create a new asset. So it's called object. Just like the word issue and ticket on Jira, you have something called object and asset. So technically, every asset is an object.
Nitish, I think you're muted.
Sorry, guys, I got disconnected and I had to connect back. So I'm just trying to show you what a create object screen is on inside. So this is very similar to the create issue screen on Jira. You have something called object type, which is very similar to issue type on Jira. Then name is basically the summary. Then these are all custom fields. On inside, it is known as attributes. So I'll go ahead and click on create. You can also add an attachment, by the way. So Atlassian has done a wonderful job to maintain the UI, very similar to Jira, and users can easily access the content here and go ahead and make use of the similarities. So I went ahead and created. So I just showed you an error message that we get if you are selecting content that is not added. So this is like a drop-down custom field in Jira. Now my new object type was or object was created with the image that I gave. Now, if you want to kind of add a QR code on this, you can always do that, and take a printout and stick it on your hardware device so that you can easily scan the QR code and make use of it. So after you create an object, you have functionalities very similar to Jira. If you're familiar with the old view of Jira, Jira Cloud, you know that there are things like edit, comment, and all. So it is very similar here. I'll go ahead and click on comment and add a comment. You can also restrict the comment to only people belonging to various inside roles. So primarily the roles in inside are defined as inside users, inside administrators, inside managers, and inside developers, where administrators can access all object type schema. Managers are, have the ability to add content on your object type. Developers can, create objects, whereas a user can just add content. Now I will go ahead and show you how the object type, custom fields or attributes can be added. So unlike Jira, you don't have an issue administration section from which you need to kind of select screens, custom fields, and all those things. This is a much easier option where you have to kind of add a value here, which is basically your attribute name. Then you have some default functionalities like object, user, group, status. These are all different variables. So if you want to kind of have a set of objects like a list of employees from a different object type schema, you can make use of that. If you want to pull out a list of users from your Atlassian cloud or Jira cloud, you can do that, or select a group or add a status. So these are all things that can be done. So right now what I'm going to do is I will just go ahead and select a text value and click on add. I apologize, guys. There is some network glitch due to which I'm getting disconnected. I hope you guys are able to see my screen once again. So I went ahead and added a text, attribute on the object type scheme, object type. Right now, I'm able to see it here. So this is how the text value looks like. Now I'll just go ahead and cancel this and show you something really interesting. Um, So there are multiple levels of hierarchy that you can have on an inside asset management object type schema. And when you click on graph, this will basically show the relation between your parent object type, the child object type, and it continues like that. So right now that employees is basically linked with desktop. This is basically a different object type schema. That is why it is independent. And you also have content like hardware repo, which is not linked, and you have licenses, software repo, and other things that is stored in different locations. So this is a very useful view. And when you click on objects, and select a content like a laptop, you also have an option to view an object graph separately. So you can always make use of this. And if your object graph has a Jira connected issue, that is also listed out here. And just like how you can view content on a Jira Service Management or a Jira software ticket, you have content that pops up on the right hand side. If you click on these options with hyperlinks, it gets redirected. So it's a very useful feature. I'll just go ahead and close this, and I will show you how you can kind of expand your content. So right now, if you click on this is basically hide, this is expand, and you have a broader collapse all view where all the hierarchies will be hidden. If you uncheck that or click on expand all, it will basically select all your object type scheme, object types. And at the bottom, there is this plus icon using which you can easily create a new object type. So this is something that you can do if you have the right permissions. Now you can basically link this with an existing object type. Then there will be a parent child relationship. So what I will do now is I will just link it with laptops, and I can give a brief description. So this will basically create my new object type with the parent-child relationship. And if I click on attributes, just like how I showed earlier, we can add additional content here. So this is very easy for you to kind of create and play around with. And on the top right hand side, you see this option called object type schema. And if you click on configure here, what it does is it will basically take you to the object schema configuration page. This is just like your project, administration page, where you can make changes on your project. There are additional functionalities that you get. I think my system is taking a bit to load the page, so please bear with me. So you have, the content that is added here, like general reference type, status, rules. You can decide who are the folks who need some access on the access on this particular object type schema. Just like how I mentioned, you can basically define the rules of each individual. You can add groups or individuals to these rules. There are also reference types that are available on the object type configuration. If you want to connect two different objects, you can make use of object types. You can easily click on create and then do this. Then there is a general function page where you can kind of view what is the name of your object type schema. If you want to make changes here, this can be done. You cannot change the key, and certain options are not editable. So make sure that you are using the right content when you're building the object type schema. So I will go ahead and let my friend Darshani explain about how we can make use of the import functionalities and import content over to an object type schema. She will also be talking about automations. Thank you.
Thank you, Nitish. So let me go ahead and share my screen real quick. All right. I hope you're able to see my screen. Okay. So let's go to the import directly. So you can use imports to import your assets into this insight in your object schemas. Let me jump real quick to create a new import. So these are your options using which you can import different assets. So you have discovery import, like Nitish mentioned in the beginning, that you have inside discovery tool which you can use to you can use this to manage your infrastructure assets. So that is an option, and then you have other options like JSON import, CSV, and then external import. Today I will be showing you how to do an CSV import. So when you click on the CSV import, select next, you give this import a name, and then you select a CSV file. I have a CSV file ready, so I will select this, and then I will click create. This checkbox that we have here, what it does is when you check this, it automatically creates object types and attributes for you if you don't have them already, based on the file that you've provided. So in your file, whatever columns you have, the column names, it will create them as attributes, and then it will create a new object type with the name of the file. So if you don't want that, you just uncheck it and then click create. So I already have some imports configurations here. So let me show you how that is, how you can, edit your mapping and then import it. So you have this laptop's object type in your schema. So with this laptops, this is a previous import that was done. So when you click create, like I showed you before, it will create one configuration here. So for example, if this is your laptop configuration that you've created, what you'll do is you will expand this and then create a mapping for object type. So when you click create, here you'll be able to select in all of the object schema, whatever object types you have, that it will show up. And then you can select which object type you want to import into. So since we're importing laptops, for example, you'll select laptops and then click save. Click create. So that will create one object type mapping here, which is this, for example. And then you have to map your attributes as well. These attributes, you have your, like I said, in your CSV file, you have your column names, which will be your attributes, right? So each of these will be mapped to your attributes that you have in Insight. So these are my, in my file, I have these columns the asset attributes that I want to add. So I will add each of these from the list as shown here, and then I'll map them to attributes from Insight, right? So I'll select all of the attributes that I have in my file one by one here, and then list them all here, and then go up here. This will be disabled by default. You'll have to come here and enable it. It'll show up as enable here. So when you enable it, it'll be enabled. And then you come up here. And then this import data will not show immediately. You'll have to just edit import structure and save it again. Once you save that, your import data option will show up. So once you click import, it'll directly import your assets. So importing is a very easy process. So it doesn't, take much of your time. So you just have to select your CSV file, map it to your object type and map all the attributes. And just you click import and it will import it. So once it is imported, it will show you a message showing that your assets have been imported. So when you go back to the object type, so this object type that we have mapped, all your assets will be imported here. I'm not showing the full import, I'm not demoing the import because we are short of time here, but that is the basic import procedure that is done for CSV import. So then once that is done, so all of your assets will be listed here. So that's easy. And then if you go to the project, we have some automation set up, to update your insight objects based on what work you've done in your Jira ticket, right? So if we go to the automations, okay, here we are. So update hardware assets. Let me open this. So what this automation does is in your ticket, you have Nitish created a ticket for for a new hardware asset. So once that ticket is resolved, it basically initially it will have the status as it will be something other than assigned, maybe available or other status in Insight. But once you have resolved this ticket, which means that this hardware has been assigned to someone. That was the ticket that you have when someone is requesting a new hardware. You're assigning it to someone. So once you have assigned it, you're resolving it. So what this automation will do is it will change the status in your Insight attribute. So let me go back here. Okay. All right. So if you see this ticket, a new hardware request, we have selected this asset, right? Laptop 14, which has the status available right now. So once I resolve this ticket, so this is, by the way, in the Insight, right? These attributes are from Insight. This is not a Jira custom field. The status is an Insight attribute, so which is available right now. So once I resolve this ticket, which means I've assigned this hardware to someone. Let me just resolve it. And refresh. You see the status have changed from available to assigned. And this will be shown in Insight. So this status has changed in Insight as well, right? So that's, you can use automations to update your attributes from Jira itself, or you can also update your Jira custom fields, which will in turn update your attributes in inside. So that is, very customizable. You can use it for multiple things, like just this is for the hardware request. You can do it for maybe when you have an onboarding request for employees, if you have your employee inventory list. So you can update things there when you have resolved your tickets, or you have done changes on your onboarding tickets. So that way you can config you can use both Jira Service Management and then Insight, so that they can collaborate together and work together in using automations and inside custom fields that are there in Jira. So these are the inside custom fields that you can create in Jira, which are selecting the inside object side. Using these two inside custom fields and automations, you can collaborate between the JSM and Insight. So that is about linking a JSM project and Insight. So if you have any questions, we'll be open for Q&A.
We have two questions, Darshani. One is that they wanted that to show the CVS file once again.
CSV file, okay.
CSV file.
Maybe I'll have to reshare my screen for a second. Okay, if you're able to see my screen, I have opened a CSV file here. So you have this name, laptop ID, status, warranty expiration date, laptop keys, and MS Office keys. These will be the names of your attributes in Insight, right? If you've observed, these are the names, attribute names that we have created in Insight. So you have all your assets listed here, and then you have all the data. So this will be saved as a CSV, and when you select it, you will map the attributes. And I'm sorry, I'll have to reshare this. Yeah, attributes mapping. So for this one, if you see the laptop keys and MS Office keys, these were the object types in software repository, right? So for these were created as object references. So you're referencing these objects in the laptop object type objects, right? So these laptop objects will be having license keys, right? So they both are separate objects in Insight itself, but you're referencing one to the other. So for doing that, while mapping the attributes, you will use this IQL here. You'll add key equals dollar, and then you'll add this one. Not this one, you'll add the first one. This is from the CSV file. This list will be from the CSV file, and this is from your Insight attributes, right? So this IQL will be added, key equals dollar, and then in flower brackets, you'll add the column name that you have. So this will be only done for object references, not for other attribute types. So these are huge general text, status attribute type, and date attribute type. For these, this is not required. But when you have object references, this IQL is must. Otherwise, it shows an error. So let me show you how that looks. The object references. Nitish has shown before, but let me show you again so that you'll have a clarity. Right. So if you see here, these attributes have links to this, right? So this will be redirect to somewhere else. Where is it redirecting? This object 123 is in laptop key, which is desktop license key actually, and then MS Office keys is here, MS Office license key. So this object 7 is an object in this object type, and then this laptop 1 is an object in laptop. So you're having two different objects, and you're referencing the one inside another. So that is object referencing basically. So that for using this, while importing, you will add that IQL. And in the CSV file as well, let me share the CSV file. Yeah. So in the CSV file as well, these object references, laptop keys will not just be your license key names. It will have the object key that you have, just like you have issue keys in Jira, right? So if object will have object keys as well inside. So instead of adding the name of your license key, adding the license key, you will add the object key to it in your CSV file. Only then that referencing will work. So there's two things to it. You'll add in your CSV file, you'll add the object key for your object type attribute. And then while doing the mapping, while doing the mapping here inside, you will add that IQL that I've shown. So that's how object referencing will work. Otherwise, it will not import it correctly, or it will show errors. I hope that's clear. Any other questions?
One more question. Any automation for server build request from Naveen?
What was that again?
Any automation for server build request?
Okay. Nitish, you want to take that?
Yeah, basically, if you're planning to do this, I don't think it is possible. You need to kind of make use of inside discovery. If you can emphasize more on this question and share us the details, we will, answer the, right way to proceed further if you have that requirement. So Naveen, you can either send us an email or connect with us in the booth so that we can answer your questions. So I think there are some more questions. Vivek has a question. The physical CSV file, if any attribute is already not in the inside, will import create the attributes? Yes, it will kind of add additional content as long as you have added the columns and details. So there is another question from Naveen. Can we create attributes directly from Jira to inside? For example, if new user onboarded on our organization, new user details, name, mobile, etc. values to be taken directly from Jira custom field value to inside attributes. I don't think we can import content from custom fields. That's not an option. You can make use of users and groups from Jira, but not custom fields. So there is a question about, are these objects customizable or the standard ones? You can customize it. Guys, with the interest of time, I also would like to share our email IDs. Yes, you can integrate with Azure, that is possible. I would like to show you a last slide so that you get to know how to reach out to us in case if you have any additional questions. So let me kind of open that slide, and then if you have any additional questions, we can take that. Are you guys able to see my screen? So I have shared my email ID along with Darshani's email ID, and we will also be available in the Trundl virtual booth where you can set up a one-on-one. If there are details that you need to check within your organization and reach out, please send us an email. We'll make sure that we are going to respond. I will also open the chat window once again to see whether there are any additional questions? Before I end, I would like to apologize. There was some network glitch due to which we got disconnected. If it is required and if the content is not good, we might just re-record everything so that you don't have to experience the glitches when you kind of access the recording from the on-demand JiraCon server. Naveen, Vivek, any additional questions? And I also would like to mention certain things about the roadmap. So if you are a user who used the Insights data center version in the past, some of these features were not available on cloud. So Atlassian is basically working really hard to ensure that this is scaling up. You can expect a lot of additional things. There are a lot of integrations that you can have with tools like AWS, Microsoft Azure, and also separate tools like Device 42, which is itself an asset management solution. So in terms of integration, you get a lot of options, and we can always, answer your questions if some of the functionalities that you're looking for is not available.
Any more questions, guys?
So guys, there are some more sessions that are lined up for today. So you can join those sessions or connect with one of our booths. I mean, there are multiple booths organized by different marketplace vendors. So you can always, reach out to the individuals who own the applications while by just joining the booths. You can also join other sessions like Jira as a control center, integration to apps inside and outside Atlassian. It's conducted by Stella and Martin. There is something called Supercharge Your ESM with AppFire. The session is hosted by the AppFire team. Rhonda and Faith will be helping you with any questions. And if you are interested in leveraging DevOps practices, to improve your overall Jira configuration, there is a session for that. And if any of you guys are using sprint reporting with EasyBI, the EasyBI team is having an exclusive session for that. Jira as a project inbox is another session where you can basically make use of your email ID to convert emails into tickets. So there is a session that is hosted by Andreas, and you can join that. And there is another session called Accelerate and Optimize Project Release Using Automation, conducted by Sujit. So feel free to join these sessions. And if you couldn't join any of the sessions that was interesting, because of the pack schedule. Every recording will be available on the JiraCon website for a few more months. So make use of the on-demand platform and use it. And my recommendation would be to kind of go through every useful session. So this is a continuous process, even though it's a 2-day event. The content that we offer is always stored for at least 6 months. So make use of that, and you can always reach out to Trundle if you had any questions related to sessions conducted by me or my team members. We will be glad to help you anytime. We have 2 more minutes and we will be ending the session soon. So if there are any additional questions, this is the time for you to reach out. Guys, we are ending the session. Thank you for joining us. Please reach out to us if you have any questions. We are always available in the Trundle booth. You have a wonderful rest of the day and enjoy the remaining sessions. Take care. Bye-bye.